You're watching the JJ Podcast.
Well, e-bike sales and imports has nearly tripled here in Australia. Throughout the federal election, it was coming up quite a lot about the safety concerns of these bikes. So we've come to chat to Michelle and West and to address all your concerns.
So, Michelle and West, thank you so much for allowing us to come here and chat with you today. As you know, e-bikes are talk of the town among the community. We get a lot of messages about the safety of these e-bikes and from people around the place driving that are worried they're going to hit someone or seeing kids do the wrong thing. What are you guys seeing and what would you like to see changed?
Well, there's a lot of things I want to see changed. One of the things I want to say is that when a child leaves here, we're very concerned about their health and safety because they don't think like adults. They don't drive a car, so they don't think how we drive. So when they leave, they think like a young person thinks, and we think like an old person thinks. So when I do a demo out there, I say, this is how you're going to deal with this situation outside. And I've got a scenario outside where there's a wall and a car can come out from it. And I say, I will slow down and check. You won't. The difference between a child and an adult is simply that. And then I can demonstrate it real time with them riding around a car park and show how when they come around the car park, I tell them, you're going to come around the car park.
You won't be looking.
And you won't be looking, you'll be looking at me and mum and smiling. No, it won't. And sure enough, they come around the corner and they look straight at us with a big smile because they're having fun. And they don't look and go straight up into where a car could be coming down. So this is easily demonstrated, and all of a sudden the mum and dad's like, oh wow, okay.
Wow, that's important.
That's what we're dealing with.
That's powerful when they see it firsthand before they've even left the store.
Yeah.
We all need to understand that when we're on the road, we now have to deal with these people in our surroundings, and the way they think is not how we think. So we can't presume they're going to go through a roundabout and wait. They'll just go through because they're just trying to get to the beach in a hurry. They're trying to pick up someone. So yeah.
You mentioned kids. What would you say is the average age when they come in and say, I'm buying a 500 watt, 1,000 watt bike or whatever for my kid? How old are these kids?
Oh, look, sometimes they're as young as 12. And when they come in and they're 12, we just say to the parents, look, we think you should wait. They're often too small. They can't even get on the bike, but they're in such a hurry to get one because their mates have got them. And we're like, can you just wait a little bit longer? Sometimes we'll put them on a bike just to show the parents that they're just not big enough. And then they realise, but there is a lot of pressure. So that freaks us out. We do often say, we think this bike's a 15 plus bike. We think you should wait. And we can't stop them from buying them. We can just tell them what we recommend.
I think 15 is an okay age. Like I'm an avid e-bike rider. Family friends who have teenage children, a son in particular who has a Doroti, who's 14, 15, and he and his mates look fine on them. And the parents set some very, very strict rules.
I think that the parents are working so hard, mum and dad, that they don't put enough time and energy into the bike. So there's no education from the parent. So they'll be busy with work and stuff like that, trying to keep everything together.
And now the kid can take themselves to school. They see it as
it's a life. It's the family logistics are solved. Like, and you know, that comes school, footy training, go to the gym, all sorts of stuff. What you've got to think about is that the child is getting so powerful over the parent that they will demand, you know, the bike at a young age. And you know, this is the problem. The parents need to say, this is what we think you should do, rather than the child saying, this is what we...
the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, so absolutely. Yeah.
This is a bit of an issue, and I'd like to see parents be strong enough to say, no, you can't have a bike until you're a certain age.
Would it help if that was legislated? What would you guys like to see? I know that papers and politicians and you know, the local MP has been here to talk to you.
Yeah, so in Perth it's 16 years.
Oh, okay, so there are examples in Australia where there's...
Yeah, that's only been, I think, for the last year.
I'm not sure, but they've decided to do that. And ironically, you know, in Perth there's no issues with bikes because there's so much space and there's no people there.
I think 15 would be, you know, maybe 14. It really depends on their height and everything as well. But I think definitely I'd like to see 15.
Which is exactly how they do it in a car seat.
Yeah.
You know, Jaimee and I have young boys, and when they were able to get out of the full 5-strap harness, it wasn't necessarily an age, but they had to be over 110 centimeters or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a certain weight. And
Yes. Yes.
So definitely size would be a big impact. They're big bikes. Big bikes.
They are big bikes.
My husband drives one, rides one. He's 6'4".
Exactly.
So-
But,
they're big and heavy. So
I ride to work a lot. The police probably don't want to hear this, but this is the reality. I ride on the footpath. I'm 60 years of age. I ride all the way on the footpath, but I have a way of doing it. So if I see someone on the footpath and I'm approaching them, I get off early and to show that person that it's their footpath, not mine. I'm using it, but it's yours, so I get off early and slow right down, and then I pass them slowly. And then off I go. If I'm coming from behind, I'll give a little tiny bell, not a big one, and I'll be aware that that person might have earbuds in and they won't know I'm coming. So I'll come very slowly into their peripheral and they'll feel me almost, and then I'll go past. And I think that even though it's not, the law isn't there, I think the law needs to change so that everyone is allowed on the footpath.
I agree
And
with
we need to
we
educate
like
how to
riding with
use
our
it.
son, because when we have our 8-year-old with us, we're allowed.
Yep.
yes.
So if he's on the back of my e-bike
Yep.
or on the back of my husband's e-bike, we'll almost only use paths,
Yeah.
and we do exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
And even when we go for family bike rides, whether it's on normal push bikes or our e-bikes, when we pass people, I'm normally in the front, our 8-year-old in the middle, dad at the back.
Yeah.
And if I go around people, pedestrians, I'll say, on your right, 3 of us, and I let them know there's more coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely, I've never heard a teenager do it when they've passed me though.
No.
So there's the different,
Yeah.
it's
I
different
think
reality,
This could
education.
save a lot of people and a lot of pain, a lot of people losing their lives. You need to make sure that the kids are encouraged to go on the path and learn how to use the path. And
What is
respect
the
people.
current law with the path? How old?
16.
16. And then they're considered an adult and they're supposed to be on a
They're
road?
supposed to be on the road.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm going to ride home from work today, and I will know that I'm going to get home, and I'm not going to have any problems. If a car backs out of a driveway, sure, then I've got problems. But I ride so that I know that I can stop if a car comes out. Or if there's a blind driveway, I will slow down and check and then go. I'll slow down to make sure if there's a blind spot. And because I ride the similar route, like a child would to school, you get to know
Of
things
course.
that work, right? So you can do that. So that can be done very cheaply. But you can also create this bike path here, which is the footpath, and mark it with paint, nothing more, just a bit of yellow paint, that people know that this particular path is a bike share path. And
So pedestrians are
expect-
more aware as well.
Expect that you might get an e-bike come by. And don't do it with the road across the next one or the next one. Just designate one, so you've got veins of these little lanes, and it all would cost is paint. And then you could gradually get people to.
Signage. Yeah.
And I think it's a really good way. If I was anything involved in regulating government issues, I would make that the priority. I'd go, righto, everyone get off the road, get on the footpath. Here's some veins that we're going to allow, one to the St Augustine School, one through Freshwater, one through here, and just put some paint on it. And then do some campaigning where you say, right, pedestrians, beware, you'll have bikes on this area, more heavily than normal. And I think that's a great solution.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it a long time, and I reckon that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah. I like it. You should
It
run.
makes me want to be a politician. When I think about that, it makes me want to be a politician because I could...
Oh, Michelle, you're about to lose him. You'll be running the shop on your own.
I just like that as a really simple, cost-effective start to solving the problems.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
have to
really
be
like
multi-million-dollar infrastructure
Yeah,
and bridges and things. Yeah.
So people often say, how do you police it? It's going to cost... we spoke to police and they say, look, I'm on the way to a job.
Yeah, you need hundreds of police standing along the
if
sides
I'm
of
on
the
way,
road.
If I'm a policeman, I'm on the way to a job, and I see someone without a helmet, I've got to make a decision. Am I going to the job that I'm called for? It may be, domestic violence, it might be someone hurt, a shop breaking, whatever it is. They make a decision. Person without a helmet, I'm going to go to that job. So they bypass that person. My solution is this. Police need to keep an eye out for anyone riding wrong or without a helmet, and they simply pull over, they give a firm, quick 10-second warning to that person, and then they go to their job.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is obviously it's an emergency, they have to go to it, but that child is going to go, oh my God, there's a policeman.
Someone actually stopped me.
They turned the siren on, they stopped, they gave me a strong talking to, and they say, if I see it again, you are in big trouble.
That kid goes to school, the police pulled me over this morning and did
You know,
it.
that word gets out, right? It's known then that you can't ride around this area without a helmet. So it takes 15 seconds of a policeman going with his siren, and dude, if I see you again, I'm taking that bike off you. Now you can't by law do it, but it's enough if a big sarge yells at a young 15-year-old, he's going to go, oh my God, that's not great. So I would do that, and I would go down to Manly and I would stand behind some trees and I'd walk out on a Saturday morning and go, excuse me, stop. You must ride a helmet.
It doesn't. It's
Lock your
the
bike up.
reputation getting around.
And all you got to do is, all they need to do, no fines, they just say, lock the bike up, go home and get a helmet, and I'll be here. And even if they haven't got the time to stay there, just go and lock that bike up, walk home. And I think the word will get out, and they won't have to spend a lot of money on policing. It'll be quick, everyone will know they're serious, and you can solve the helmet problem overnight.
We do it in the shop. If the child comes with no helmet to get their bike fixed, we actually make them go home and get their helmet.
Won't
So
fix
we're
the
not
bike.
going to fix your
No,
bike until
don't
you've got a
talk to
helmet. I don't want to talk to you.
They come in, they
Yeah.
go, but we
I've
just
got a
want to tell you
young
what's
guy,
wrong.
yeah.
And they go, no, you're not listening. If you don't have a helmet, we're not talking to you. So then they go,
And they just,
but I just need to talk to you about the bike. No, we're serious. So they go home and they'll get a helmet, come back and go, my brake's not working, or this. So you can do it.
Do you think something like registration of these sort of bikes would also help if they had like little license plates or?
That'll help with the illegal bikes, definitely. So my thoughts are you can only register a bike that's street legal. If it's not street legal, it can't be registered. So yes, if it's got like a little registration on the back, you're like, okay, that's legal, that's legal.
And what do you
that's
think is
legal.
a reasonable price for a registration?
Between sort of 50 to 80 maybe?
Annually?
Yeah.
I
think so
yeah,
too.
definitely. I think that's...
Yeah, or you could actually make
absolutely.
it free. You don't have to make money.
They are spending $2,000 and $3,000 on these bikes, though. I would think that
I
if
think-
they can't afford $50,
Yeah.
$60, $70 a year for a rego and to make sure they're keeping the upkeep of the bikes, then they shouldn't be buying the bike.
Probably
I
right,
agree,
but you just
yeah.
got to be careful that you're not being seen, especially government isn't being seen to make money out of something instead of being a solution. Like the solution, is often like, because people come to the shop and they say, oh, you should register these things and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, sure, but you've got to be careful that you're not seen as the government trying to take some money, because at the end of the day, if it's a 15-year-old, parents are still going to pay it. So the 15-year-old's not paying it, so it's another thing that the parents are paying. Not that it's a lot of money, it's just the moral of the story is
Perhaps it could be done like a fishing license. That's like $50 for 3 years or something.
Yeah.
but even if you could not even, I don't know, I don't like using money as
pricing on fishing licenses.
yeah. I just don't like using money sometimes. Like cars, a great example. We spend a lot of money on registering cars. I sometimes wonder whether they say, that's to pay for roads and stuff like that. We've got petrol to do that. So.
I think, though, people would be happy to pay it if they know that it's going to take all of the illegal bikes off the streets, because basically it's saying, okay, my bike's street legal. I think that's the most important part of registering them for me, is that because I'm just so tired of these kids getting these 1,000-watt bikes and racing around doing like 40 or 50 Ks. That's scary.
Yeah.
So that's what I want it to stop more than anything.
You mentioned before that what you're seeing come in here, did you say 80% are mums?
Yeah, pretty much. 80% of the mums coming in with the big heavy bike with the flat tyre. It's definitely, I would definitely say 80% of the
Wow,
mums
that-
looking after the bikes, coming in to buy the bike. Yeah, probably about 80%.
I find that figure shocking.
It is. It's obviously, for me, mums are doing everything, trying to work as well as look after the child's bike, and I don't like it. I often say to the mum, like, where's dad? And obviously they say, oh, he's at work, but I'm like, that mum's also working.
Yeah.
So she's trying to do the work and the bike, and take the bins out, and all the things that So I think there's a definite imbalance in our society at the moment with what women are actually doing. Like I know Michelle in our situation does so much more than I do, and it's difficult because I think men are very set up to focus on what they're doing, and their work is important. I'm bringing the money in, but women are now bringing money in, and they're taking the bins out, and they're taking their child's bike to get the tyre fixed.
And then that
So I
goes
reckon it's
that
80%.
that goes into what you were saying before about if the mum can get the teenage kids driving themselves to school. What an impost off that, you know, they're not having to race out
Yeah.
morning and afternoon.
Hence why they rush in with the tyre, because they're like, I need this fixed, because they know
Yeah.
how much it's going to help to have them back on the road again.
Yeah.
So, and they'll often say, oh, you know, can you get this done quickly?
Yeah.
So,
Excellent to know. Well, hopefully we can increase awareness and increase
Yeah.
safety so
Yeah.
that they don't get banned
Yeah.
because they're fabulous, a fabulous tool, fabulous to get these teenagers back out with their mates socialising and not just on a computer screen, but definitely some regulation, some safety,
Yeah.
registration,
And
helmets.
I think also, I know we didn't touch on it, but the defensive riding course, I would love to see
Yeah.
something like that happen, where they can just go and do a little course. Might just be like half a day, put them in some little situations where they might need to react quickly, because that's...
Or having to
really-
sit the computer L's test.
Yes.
Where they
Yeah.
just learn,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
when I approach a
Good idea.
roundabout, I've got to give way to my right,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
the
having that
13 and
awareness.
14-year-olds don't have that.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
And no one does until they start doing their P's.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
really important.
Well, thank you so much both for your time,
That's all right.
and let's hope we can, improve awareness and
Yeah.
increase safety for
Yeah.
everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the JJ podcast.